I have entitled this next little piece, "What is the Meaning of Kwanzaa in Tuskegee, Alabama in 2007? What, if any, significance does all of this have for those of us living in Tuskegee, Alabama, as we come to an end of 2007 and we begin 2008? Many of us in this room have been celebrating Kwanzaa for many years now. And every year we go through the same rituals. We have the same discussions about how the principles can benefit us. And we vow to continue to gather throughout the year to build on the good energy and the good feelings we get when we come together at this special time of the year. When Sister Latifah asked me to speak, I thought, well, what can I say that has not already been said many times before? And it occurred to me as I pondered this that perhaps Kwanzaa has become like so many other things in our lives. A lot of symbols with very little substance. Our celebration of Kwanzaa can become like so many of our other celebrations, a mere going through the motions for the sake of going through the motions. Well, what then are the alternatives to going through the motions? For starters, I like to look at Kwanzaa's conception. What was it that Brother Maulana Karenga was attempting to do? Let's remember that the backdrop to all of this was the devastation following the Watts riots. And it was a turbulent time for our people. You know, there were freedom rides throughout the South. There was the Vietnam War that had taken a heavy toll in our communities. There had been Freedom Summer. There was racial unrest, and there were murders throughout the country of our people. And as the saying goes, necessity is the mother of invention. A then young Ron Karenga must have pondered the utter devastation of the Watts community in the aftermath of the riots and wondered what contribution he could make to once again inspire hope in a hopeless people. That's a major, major undertaking. I'm sure also that he was inspired by his ancient African ancestors who were masters at creating ritual and ceremony. I'm sure that he pulled on those African roots, those African values and customs to create a ceremony, a ritual, a celebration that embraced the best of who we are as a people, much like the ancients developed the concept of ma'at. He chose the symbols and the principles very carefully with the hope that we would embrace them and make them a part of our lives in such a way as to make ourselves, our families, our communities, and our people better. I will just insert here that one of our young people, Miss April over here, who's now a freshman at Spelman, invited some of us over to Atlanta, where Dr. Karenga himself facilitated a Kwanzaa celebration in early December. And I assure you that he is just as passionate today about the fact that Kwanzaa is to be lived and not just celebrated and commercialized. In Tuskegee, Alabama in 2007, are there circumstances and situations where the implementation of one or more of the 7 Kwanzaa principles could be useful? Yes. What could a little umoja or unity do to assist us in solving our healthcare dilemma, my sister? How about a little kaumba or creativity to reestablish Tuskegee as the Mecca of African and African American history and culture? What about some kuchijakulia or self-determination to create a culturally relevant curriculum in our schools that would move our youth once again toward excellence and keep them off the fast track to the prison industrial complex? How far would a little Ujima collective work and responsibility go towards creating a community with the kind of quality of life that would cause older people with their resources and their wisdom to flock here to spend their retirement years, and cause young families to be attracted because the opportunities here were so vast? Could we use a sense of nia or purpose necessary to eradicate ourselves of the stigma of having been a haven for drug activity? Could we use that same sense of nia to create structures to treat those in our community who have fallen prey to this plague? Can we dig down deep enough to find the love and the trust necessary to practice the ujamaa, or the cooperative economics, needed to see that the new businesses that are coming into our city flourish? And can we use that same principle to create jobs, co-ops, cooperatives, etc., that will benefit us all?